All right, if you're learning Portuguese, you know the struggle. Indicative versus subjunctive. It can feel like this giant, confusing mountain to climb, right? Well, what if I told you it's actually way simpler than you think? Today, we're going to totally break it down. And by the time we're done here, you'll have this one super simple tool that'll help you get it right pretty much every single time.
So let's get right to it. Here's the core question you need to ask yourself. Is what you're trying to say a sure thing, or is it more of a maybe? Is it a fact, or is it just a possibility? Believe it or not, the verb you pick in Portuguese totally gives away your perspective. It's like a little window into your mind. And we're going to show you exactly how that works. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the two different moods. Then we'll dive into the world of facts with the indicative, followed by the world of possibility with the subjunctive. After that, we'll put them to the test, and then we'll wrap up by talking about your new superpower. Simple, right? Let's go.
So let's talk about this tale of two moods. And look, the most important thing is to just change how you think about this. For a minute, I want you to forget all those crazy conjugation charts and complicated rules. This is not about memorization. It all comes down to one simple choice you make. Are you talking about reality, or are you talking about something else?
So what in the world is a grammatical mood anyway? It sounds kind of academic, but it's not. Just think of it like the attitude or the vibe you're giving off when you speak. It's the little signal you send that tells your listener, hey, this is a fact, or, this is just a wish, or, this is a total what-if situation. It's all about your point of view.
Okay, this right here, this is the whole ballgame. Everything you really need to know is on this one slide. On one side, you've got the indicative. That's the world of reality. We're talking facts, certainties, stuff you know for sure. And on the other side, the subjunctive. That's the world of possibility. This is for all the doubts, the wishes, and the what-ifs. Seriously, just burn this into your brain. Indicative is reality, subjunctive is possibility. That's the secret.
All right, let's jump into that first world, the indicative, the world of facts. You can kind of think of this as your default mode in Portuguese. It's for when you're talking about things that are concrete, things you know are true, or things you're just flat out declaring as fact. This is your home base. So where do we see this in action? Well, a perfect example is just asking a simple, direct question. When you ask someone, "Quais horas são?" or "Quantas understands?" what are you really doing? You're asking for a piece of information, a fact. You believe there's a real concrete answer out there. So because you're dealing with reality, boom, you use the indicative.
Now, this is where it can get a little tricky, but it makes perfect sense. It also works for indirect questions. Look at this one. Não sei quantos anos tens. I don't know how old you are. You might think, wait, that's uncertainty. But what are you actually saying for sure? You're stating a fact about your own knowledge. The fact is, you don't know. The main idea is still rooted in reality, so you stick with an indicative.
And our source material really lays this out with some super clear examples. So the takeaway here is, it doesn't matter if the question is direct or indirect. If the statement is fundamentally about a fact, even the fact of not knowing something, you are firmly planted in the world of the indicative.
Okay, time to cross over into the other realm. Let's talk about the subjunctive, the world of possibility. This is where you go for everything that isn't a solid reality yet. We're talking desires, doubts, and all those classic what-if scenarios.
Just look at these sentences here. Se puder, if I can, see? That's not a fact, it's a condition. It might happen, it might not. Or how about esteja onde estiver, wherever he may be? That's pure uncertainty. And this one, quando a Eva chegar, when Eva arrives. Has Eva arrived yet? Nope, it's a future event that hasn't become reality. Since none of these are happening in the here and now as facts, they all need the subjunctive.
All right, now for the fun part. This is where the magic really happens. We're going to do a little certainty litmus test. We're going to put these two moods right next to each other, and you'll see how changing just one little word completely flips the meaning of the entire sentence. It's pretty cool.
So let's compare two sentences straight from the exercises. What I want you to do is just watch how the verb mood shifts the entire message from a simple question of fact to a hypothetical condition. Okay, check this out. On the left, with the indicative, it's não sei se queres. I'm basically asking, do you want me to take you home? Yes or no. It's a question about a current reality. But on the right, with the subjunctive, it's se tu quiseres. Now it's a hypothetical. If you want, then I can take you home. See the difference? It's not a question about right now, it's setting up a future condition. Listen to that subtle shift. Queres, quiseres. That one little change takes us from reality to possibility.
Here's another great one. Left side indicative. Quando é que tu tens tempo? I'm trying to find out a fact about your real schedule. When do you have time? Now look at the right, subjunctive. Quando tiveres tempo, avisa-me. This is totally different. It's a condition for a future action. Whenever you have time, let me know. It hasn't happened yet. Again, it's fact-finding versus future planning. Tens versus tiveres. And these comparisons, which come straight from the exercises in our source material, are designed to make this crystal clear. Once you really see them side by side like this, it just clicks. You realize the entire feeling of the sentence hangs on that one little verb choice.
So we're calling this section Your New Superpower for a reason. Because this is more than just grammar, right? This is about expressing nuance. It lets you communicate not just what you're thinking, but how you're thinking about it. You can signal your certainty, your doubt, your wishes. It adds a whole new layer of depth to your Portuguese.
So, let's boil it all down to a super simple two-step test you can run in your head. Step 1. Just ask yourself, is what I'm about to say a fact? Is it real? Is it certain? If yes, boom, you use the indicative. Step 2. If it's not a fact, then is it a doubt, a wish, a possibility, a what if? If so, you've got your answer. Use the subjunctive. That's it. That's the whole test.
Think about it. Every time you choose between the indicative and the subjunctive, you are literally choosing which reality to talk about. Are you describing the world as it is or the world as it could be? You can now choose your reality. So, how are you going to use this power?